If anybody says that basically diversifying the economy is an easy task, we will be fooling ourselves, clearly. So it is clearly a very complex and difficult task because it doesn't depend on one ingredient. There are so many ingredients that you have to put together in a synchronized manner to make it happen. The issue of knowledge-based economy is clearly a very critical one for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, especially as we look at basically the diversification from oil. The beauty of knowledge-based industries is basically it is heavy reliance and dependence on human resources, and therefore it's the people. If we look at the composition of the population in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we have more than 60% of the population is less than 30 years old. And therefore we have a very young population, which is clearly a very important and critical requirement for the development of a knowledge-based industry. Furthermore, the Kingdom has been heavily investing in the educational sector, as you know. Different universities are being built in addition to reinforcing basically the capabilities of existing universities. There is a major focus on vocational training, etc., technical training, and so on. And all those clearly are targeted towards building a population of youth that is basically ready to move into a knowledge-based industry. Now, having said this, clearly that alone wouldn't do it. What you also need to have is the know-how. And here comes the opportunity for international companies. There is a great opportunity for international companies to look at this market, especially that it is the largest market in the whole Middle East, and look at basically the trends within the government, which is basically let's move towards a knowledge-based economy. The know-how which many international companies, prominent international companies have, put together with the human resources that exist in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia by implementing major programs and creating indigenous in-country capabilities through that, those international companies can have a huge differentiating factors from their competitors in terms of capturing the majority of the programs in the future in association with local companies and basically independence on local resources. So clearly, the direction towards knowledge-based industry is an important one, and it has to be enforced. Now, there would be many challenges as it relates to that. There are many stereotypes, for instance, about the Saudi population. There are many talks about basically the level of discipline, the level of commitment, the level of knowledge, the depth in education, etc. Many of those are stereotypes. However, they are reinforced by the environment. In AEC, in Advanced Electronics Company, from our experience, if you create the right productive environment, and by that I mean a fully disciplined environment that is fair in its treatment to all its employees, so there is no favoritism, which is counter to many cultural issues in the Middle East. There is no favoritism in employment, in attracting new employees, or in the progression of employees within the organization, and that basically all your growth is based on merit. If you create an environment like this, the Saudis can demonstrate that they are extremely productive, highly efficient and effective in what they do, and extremely intelligent. From our experience, AEC is a profit-making organization. We are not a charity, we are a business, and we are a profit-making organization. We cannot rely on 75% Saudis in this organization if they were not yielding good results. So clearly, productivity is very important. And we have seen it here happening because the environment is right. We've built the right environment. It is like cooking a great dish. If you have the best ingredients in any recipe, and the cook, when you put them together, you put them in a wrong way, you will get a dish that you will tend to throw away, rather than basically look at it as your best dish. It's exactly the same thing. So we try to basically clearly identify our ingredients, primarily human resources, partners, where the technology comes from, and the environment, and put them together in a way to make it successful and create a productive environment.